So the question was, what was the reaction when we pitched to our department that we wanted to write the musical? They were surprised because we were, to this date, the first time they've ever produced a musical written by undergraduate students. It's never happened before. And I don't know if it'll ever happen again because it was such a crazy whirlwind process.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky that we were the guinea pigs.
Yeah, we got out alive.
Because I don't know if they'll ever do it again. But honestly, they were quite desperate because they had read a lot of scripts that were all probably very good works, but the current trend in writing musicals because of budget limitations is to write very small shows. And part of their responsibility as a department is to cast as many students as possible because it's an educational environment.
And
so when we were said we'd like to write a show, they were like, okay, well, can it have at least 20 people and can it have some dancing? And we were like, yeah,
let's
why
do it.
not?
Why not?
Okay, because we hadn't written it yet, so yeah, sure, 20 people and dancing, why not?
Yeah.
So essentially, we were able to, because their doors were wide open, promise that we would fulfill all of their expectations, which was in some ways a blessing because it made us able to please them much easier. And in some ways it was more difficult because we were like, oh man, we promised them that we're totally gonna dance. Like we really need to find a place in this musical that we can have some dance breaks. But I like that as well because sometimes if your possibilities are too open, you go down too many roads, and having landmarks was good. If they said like you have to have an ensemble, it was good to know that we had to write for enough characters or write for enough people to be in a show that substantiates an ensemble.
On the whole, I think we were very surprised by their reaction to our proposing a musical because we were like, yeah, all right, do it. We're like, really? You're gonna let us write a musical?
They were like, I mean, their limitation was they told us what they wanted in it, and they said we can't just put it up in November. You have to, by June, this was in March, show us what you've written. It doesn't have to be completely finished, but it has to be pretty much there, and we'll tell you from there if we should proceed. And we practiced and wrote and spent every hour of our days trying to write this musical and get it together. And then at the end, when they were like, yeah, I think we're going to do this, I was in shock. I don't think I called my parents for like 3 days because I didn't even like kick in that it was happening. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm okay. They're doing our musical. Yeah, so, okay, so see you in November when we do it.
And they even admitted to us when we previewed the musical for them in June, they said, wow, you guys wrote a whole musical. Wow, okay, I'm impressed. Let's do it. So I think one thing just led to another, and it was happening to go great. Anything else?
You said they might not do it again. Why would that be?
Because it is really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the answer.
I mean, for the students' sake,
It's not just writing the script, casting it, putting it on stage, making the set, because then it becomes, okay, we need an orchestra. Who's going to orchestrate it? Oh, we don't have money to hire an orchestrator? Okay, AJ and Carlson are going to orchestrate it. But at the same time, we're trying to rewrite the show and do homework and everything, so the orchestrations are coming in at like 10 p.m. the night before the show opens, like, here,
Our
cello,
music
play this.
director was pissed at us.
Yeah, so, and we tried to be as organized about it as possible, but I think what you realize as you're taking on a project, whether this is inventing something or presenting something or anything, there's always that thing that you did not anticipate that comes up, 10 minutes before you go on, and you're like, let's deal with this. Whereas licensing a show like Fiddler on the Roof, it comes with a script, it comes with the score, it comes with the orchestra parts, and they say, do this, do just this, and it's very hard to mess that up. So it's a lot easier for them to just pick a show that's already been done, but it's a lot more exciting to say, do you want to see a show that no one's ever seen before? As opposed to like, do you want to see Fiddler again for like the 17th time? So I have hopes that someday somebody will come and like really knock their socks off with a musical, and they'll go, yeah, let's try this again. But I think that they're gonna be a lot stricter.
Yeah,
we got
absolutely.
away with a lot.
Yeah, I think we got away with it, because we were able to express tenacity and passion about the project, and also in general in our classes.
Yeah.
They know that we're very hardworking people, I think. So.
Plans now are editing it.
Heavily.
Because heavily. One, the musical was like 2.5 hours long, which is long for a musical. And secondly, as you watch it, you realize things that read a little clunky, or scenes that go on a little long, or characters that don't seem as important as when you were writing them in. So there's just a lot of editing to do. for us to be happy with the piece again, to want people to see it again.
But as far as where the state of the piece and how it is right now, it's kind of in a dormant state where I think purposefully just distancing ourselves from the project and allowing time to just kind of take its course so that we can come back to a project with, I don't know, a fresh perspective. And yeah, I think we can move on from there and really, I think we'll be able to tackle the issues with the musical very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, the goal would be to get it to New York City, because that's where eyes are on New York City. It was an honor to be able to do it here, and we got some very good publicity and press, and AnnArbor.com and things like that. But you really want to come to New York and have people see your musical there, so that would be the eventual goal.
But it's a long road.
Yeah.